Plaintiff Peggy Howard was married to the defendant, and 1 week after they brought their newborn baby home, the defendant went missing. Peggy claims she discovered the defendant was on a cocaine binge, and after they were separated, the defendant started stalking her and even broke into her home. Peggy suing her ex for unpaid child care expenses. Defendant David Howard admits he used to be addicted to cocaine, but insists he's been drug-free for 4.5 years. David claims their marriage didn't work out because they had communication problems, and David refuses to pay for child care expenses because Peggy refuses to include him on decisions regarding their daughter.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, I was married to Dave in June of '01. A couple months after that, we had our daughter. 3 months after that, within 1 week of bringing her home, Dave was gone. Missing in action. He didn't come home anymore.
Ever?
Well, he did. He was out watching the game and doing cocaine.
Oh,
So-
he was on the bench.
Yeah.
You don't come home when you're binging. Yeah.
You know, 3 months
How many
into a
days?
marriage, he was that one time. He was only gone that one day.
Y'all didn't have but a 8-ball?
A little less than that.
Less than that?
Less.
Okay. I don't
But I have been clean out for over 4.5 years, so.
Good to hear that. All right, go ahead.
You know what? Throughout the marriage, it was the ups and downs. The in and out of drug rehab programs, years of counseling.
How many years on drugs?
He's been doing it his whole life. I found that out as I got into the marriage. Married him a little too soon.
I mean, addicted to cocaine, how many years?
His life.
No, that's not true. I started with marijuana and progressed into cocaine in my mid-20s. And then around 30, I stopped, moved out to California, didn't touch it for 10 years. And then I got back into it again. Bad mistake, obviously.
Ma'am, you continue with the
you know what? The
background
last
you want
drug
to give.
rehab program was a 30-day in-house. That was June of '05. That didn't work. The court order was also in '05 when he decided to get back onto the drugs after the 30-day. Broke into the house, ran into the shower. I have cops sitting outside protecting us, me and my 3 kids, because he had gone crazy.
What are you talking
That
about?
drug restraining order? The restraining order was in September.
Yeah, there's a restrainer where none of that
He
happened.
ran in the house and jumped in the
He
shower.
actually, you know what?
I'd
in
like
the
to
shower.
hear this too.
Yes. He was trying to break into the house, pounding on the window for the kids. Let me in, let me in. I was in the shower because it had gotten to a point where he was calling me the day before. Where were you? What are you doing in the kitchen this hour of the night? What do you mean? What am I doing in the kitchen? Where are you? I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Next thing you know, I'm in the shower. I hear somebody running down the hallway. Open the shower door. Flies open the curtain. I'm like, whoa. He's like, where is he? Where is he? Oh, 911, help. And so, yeah, that's what caused the restraining order.
No, I don't recall any of that.
Well, that was because you were on drugs. Hello.
You know, I've been clean for 4.5 years. This past August, I was clean for 4 years.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Give me some background from you, sir, before we get into the child care expenses she's suing you for.
All right, let me start with this, Your Honor. You know, it started off normal, I guess. We had average marriage. You know, we had our barbecues and stuff like that.
Within a
You know,
week,
she's
you
making
didn't
out. It
come
sounded like
Ma'am, let him finish.
It sounded like she's making out like I was a straight up druggie. You know, why would she get into a marriage with me if I was like that? I wouldn't
That's
get
what
into
I
a
was
marriage with
thinking.
me if I was like that.
Thought that plenty
Because
of
you
times.
can hide it, sir. You know you can have a crack habit for 3 months. You can hide a crack habit for a year.
Oh, yeah.
It's cocaine.
Right.
His drug of choice
so
is
don't
cocaine.
act like why would she get involved with a druggie because she didn't know. She didn't know until you start disappearing for 3 days at a time. And then she got somebody put her up on the game, right?
Yeah, his sister, yeah.
Oh, okay. She told him.
Got rated out.
You know what? The
Go
bank
ahead,
statements.
sir.
Anyways, you know what? Shortly thereafter, our marriage, you know, we developed the problems. You know, we quit communicating, and you know, the marriage fell apart. Obviously, communication problems. You alleged all the drug
It's hard to
problems.
talk when you have the.
But again, as of this
So
past
it was
August.
y'all did have communication problems.
Oh, yeah.
That's
We
my
had
point.
major communication
Yeah,
problems.
you couldn't communicate very well. I'm just having fun with you.
I
And
know.
you should be able to take it because if you're in recovery, you know that it even helps to look back at the lowest points of your addiction.
Oh,
Am I
definitely
right
hit
or
rock-
wrong?
I hit rock bottom. You were definitely correct.
So I'm helping you. See, a lot of recovering addicts think that when they come in here and I talk about their addiction, that I'm ridiculing them. Actually, I'm helping them because one of the laws of recovery is that you are to remember your lowest point during your addiction so that can discourage you or be a deterrent to returning. So that's what I always do. I try to go at them at the lowest point. I allege that they did the lowest thing known to man. And most times I'm right. Because a crackhead will do that. Now, I have compassion for him, but you gotta give a little tough love too.
You're
That's their
I
truth.
even I had to go to court to get him to not take her to NA programs. He was taking a 4-year-old to NA programs. The judge is like, there's no way she's ready to know that daddy's on drugs.
The kids don't sit in there with you with the meetings. They go into a child care room.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, child care is what you're suing for.
Correct.
$2,502.
Yes.
And you've been telling me about his drug addiction thus far. Does that have anything to do with his inability to pay? Tell me.
You know what?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
He makes good money. I have proof of that too. But I don't know where it all goes because it's definitely not going to his daughter.
Okay. How does he owe you? What did the divorce decree
The
order?
divorce decree, yes.
Tell me what it ordered.
Divorce
What is
decree.
his responsibility?
Equal. Half and half, 50%.
Of child care
All
expenses.
child care expenses.
And how has he breached that decree?
He hasn't paid this time since March of 08 to February of 09.
What is the total amount per month that you paid?
Each month is actually different.
Okay.
Here.
Let me see what you have.
And all the receipts.
All right, sir, how do you want to respond? She says you owe $2,500 in child care expenses based on the divorce decree, which said that you all are to split it half and half.
Yes,
And she's provided me documents indicating the amount.
Okay, the divorce decree does state that I'm supposed to pay half of daycare and provide for medical, dental, and health insurance and all that. But it also says in statement 1A of our divorce decree that we are to confer in good faith on matters such as the health, the education, the welfare, and the activities of our daughter. At that time, right after we got divorced, I was laid off for 10 months from my good paying job. And in the 10 months, I got well behind on all my bills, my mortgage, my vehicle payments, everything. She wanted to put our daughter in this program for $320 a month, I believe, and I was to pay half. And I told her at the time I could not afford it. And I suggested to her, why doesn't Victoria go to the elementary school that her brother goes to? And her response was, well, that school's not good enough. And I guess she
So
took it
your
upon
defense
herself.
is that clause in the divorce decree that says you all are to confer with each other regarding major decisions. You're saying that that is the defense because you all couldn't come to an agreement?
Yeah, I
See, it didn't say you must come to an agreement, and if you don't, X, Y, Z. If so, let me see that.
The divorce decree. Right there is where
It sounds like you're saying that it says confer and discuss, and that's what
And
that
I
means.
did that, and I told her I could not afford it. What else am I supposed to do?
Well,
I suggested,
what you
I came
had
up with
as an option, and you still have as an option, sir, is to go back to court. You go back to the same judge or court if that judge is retired, and then you petition. You say, the divorce decree orders that I pay half the child care expenses. I can't afford half at this time. Here is why, because I'm no longer working. Then the judge will probably invite her in to give her opinion, and they'll do just what you're doing today. You'll say, Your Honor, there's a school up the street where her other son goes. Why can't the child do that? Then she has to make her case. And so that is the alternative, sir. So it's not as if you have absolutely no alternative. You
I
go
knew
back.
about the child support that I could go to court for that, but I did not know I could go back to
Same
court and change the divorce decree.
It's like, for example, if you have an order of alimony and the judge based the alimony on your current income, and then you get fired. You make $500,000 a year at one point, so the judge says, okay, I want to give her $150,000 a year. Then in 2 years, you lose your job, you have to go back and petition the court for a reduction in alimony because you no longer make $500,000, so you can't give her $150,000. Keep that in mind. That's about the about the amount you'd have to. How long you been? 3 or 4?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Out of your salary, you probably have to give her 100
Yeah.
a year.
$100.
No, ain't no $100, 100,000. So you better be careful.
Your Honor,
Ma'am?
he's had his job for over 3 years, and that paperwork there is from the middle of '08 to '09. He's had a job a year and a half prior to me even any of this daycare stuff
When did you lose your job?
I'm currently working
Since when?
for 3 years.
since August 13th of '08.
'05. You just started?
All right. And your lawsuit is based on child care expenses he owes from '08 through '09.
Correct.
And his defense today is that he can't afford it or he couldn't afford
the
it
time.
because he was laid off. Isn't that your defense?
Correct. And I did confer with her
Go
like
ahead.
I thought I was supposed to in the divorce decree. And I even tried to come up and offered her $100 a month when she said she was going to take me to court for it. And she even said that wasn't good enough.
Some
So here we
judges
are.
list, and this judge should have, when you mention confer and try and agree on, the judge should have included a remedy for the consequences of you all not being able to agree. Sure, you're unlikely to agree as divorcees on most things. So if that's the case, the judge should mention the remedy. If the judge doesn't, as is the case here, then you have to return to the judge and say, Judge, you ordered that we confer and work something out. We can't work it out. So you work it out for us, Your Honor.
Which I was unaware of.
Well, in this case, however, you've been working for a year, and I was going to give you a little more empathy had you not been working, but you've been working for
And
over
I've
a
been-
year.
and
Judgment for the plaintiff. That's it. Have a good day.
You know what? I really wish he would take care of his daughter better. That really upsets me that there's so many other priorities over his daughter. You know, I wish that she was number one in his life.
I want to know how I'm not taking care of my daughter by paying all my back child support. They took all my tax returns. I am totally current on, I think I was $5,000 behind because I got laid off. I am totally current. I'm paying $450 a month in child support right now. I see my daughter 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, plus every other weekend. I love my daughter, and she's making out like I'm a real bad dad, and that is just totally not true.